Hey everyone, and welcome to Fangirl Friday, where get to interview all of my friends because I realized I have a lot of female entrepreneur friends, like you, Melanie. Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So, Melanie Quallen is the owner of the Listing Loon, and I'm sure that many of you saw we went and visited her. It's in Northside. Melanie, tell us what the Listing Loon is, because as realtors, we just thought it was like a fun place to pick up listings.
Right? Um, which is great. And I'm totally going to use that angle in some future marketing.
Yes.
So the Listing Loon, we are a boutique wine shop with a patio here in Northside. We're actually located in kind of the heart of the business district on
Mhm.
Hamilton Avenue in Northside. We carry small producer wines. You're not going to find anything on our shelves that you can get at Kroger or Meijer or any big box store. So we really like to focus on small producers, female winemakers. That's kind of where we go when we
Cool.
look for wine to put on our shelves. So we
How do
also
you
have,
pick? Oh,
uh,
sorry.
that's okay. I taste. That's how I pick. So I get to do the fun part where I get to taste all the wines and decide, what I think, if I think it's an approachable wine, if there's something special about it. A lot of times the wines that we deal with, they have really great stories to them, like very
Mhm.
story driven wine. Um, a lot of terroir driven wine, which is kind of cliche because all wine is terroir
What
driven.
is what is that?
Terroir, it's all about what that means is it's about where the wine is grown. So it's all about
Okay.
like the composition of the soil and the climate, and sometimes there are traditional methods involved that will impart different flavors on the grape.
That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Okay. So you were saying, I think you were getting ready to say you also are doing like, I think for COVID and stuff, you're doing
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so we from the get-go at the start, we took a very serious stance with the pandemic. The safety of my employees and my guests has always been number one concern for me.
Hmm.
So back in March, when we were shut down for normal operation, the very next day I threw a bunch of folding tables out front with tablecloths and put all of our inventory out and said, we're a carry out now. You got to
Nice.
pivot and survive. So
Yeah.
we started there, and we have over the past year, we have kind of moved the space around a lot, made it more of a wine shop as opposed to a bar.
Hmm.
We currently do carry out in the front. So you come through the front doors and we offer carry out. And then
Hmm.
we do patio seating out back. So we have a little system set up where you just walk up through the patio, come in through the back door, and you place your order and you go back outside. So we were very fortunate back in August to kind of do a little mini renovation on the patio and still be able to start serving people in person, which was
Yeah.
like amazing because it had been so long and we're like people and we miss you and
Yay. Exactly.
interaction. Yeah. But we still do that today. So we still don't allow indoor seating just yet. Actually, great news. I got scheduled for a vaccine this morning and I'm so excited.
Yay.
And so did my staff. So we all are in the process of getting vaccinated, which is
Nice.
like awesome because that means we can potentially, like, the future, it's in sight. Having
Right.
indoor service again is in sight. So I'm
Nice.
very excited about that. So yeah, we don't mess around when it comes to COVID. We're very conscientious, and that's kind of one of our things.
Well, and I
So
think it's interesting too. Why don't you tell people like when you ended up, like how you came to own the Listing Loon and when you ended up buying it?
okay, so I knew the previous owners for
Hmm.
years, and I was a bartender here in Northside at the Northside Tavern for like 13 years. And my friends Beth and Dave created the Listing Loon. It started out as a craft beer carry out only. So
Okay.
we've come full circle. And they worked really hard, got their liquor license, built the bar, all of that. They started that journey back in 2012. They ran the place. They decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like, I'd love to own a bar, and I think this place could be awesome.
It's
So
always been your dream to
it's
own a
all,
bar.
yeah, pretty much like,
That's hilarious.
when you're a lifer in this industry, you kind of, you start, I like to always try really daring stuff and I like to have big goals. And so I was like, of course I'm going to own a bar. I'm like, that's just the logical next step for me.
Obviously.
Right. So, you know, so I go and I buy this bar on New Year's Eve, 2018, open up 4 days later on January 3rd or January 4th, 2019. And our first year was great. We were able to successfully transition to wine bar with live entertainment. So we got a little away from the craft beer side so much. So now, you know, we're a wine
Is it because
bar.
you like wine better?
I would say, well, no, it was because I saw that the neighborhood needed a really good wine place. Like that was the biggest thing. Yeah, for sure. And plus I really wanted to explore wine. So I have experience in every facet of the service industry, but wine was probably one of the places that I was least knowledgeable. And I'm like, well, I'm going to utilize this experience. You know, this is going to be the beginning of my wine journey too. So
right. That's fun.
Yeah, it's been great. So bought it New Year's Eve, 2018. And first year was great. We were hitting all the marks that I had put in place, all the goals. And then January, February of 2020 were some of our best sales months. It was awesome. I was preparing for a rebrand. I was going to rename the place and do a light renovation and really solidify that change to being, you know, the wine bar in Northside. And then March COVID hit. So that obviously got put on hold. So we've just been like in survival mode. However, we've had some amazing collaborations that have come out of COVID. There have been so many silver linings. So even though it's been tough, it's still, you know, there are moments when I'm like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Like, you know, those little glimpses. So,
well, you're definitely like a problem solver, not to like, you know, you don't want to let things get you down. You're like, okay, now that happened. Now what do we do? But like Felicia Prater and I, which I did a Fangirl Friday on her, and she's the wine expert. When we came to visit you, there's a good collaboration coming up with that too. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, we're hoping for something for Mother's Day, but we haven't ironed out any details. So I don't want to say anything yet.
Then we won't.
It changes. Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah, she was fantastic. And that's another example of this. Like this will be another great collaboration that's come out of, you know, COVID. So you just got to keep looking for the silver linings and let yourself be down when you're down, have 1 or 2 days of that. And then, you know, what are we going to do? Hit the ground and let's come up with some idea and try.
Right. Exactly. So I know you had mentioned too, you do some local delivery if people live in Northside, depending on where they live. Yeah.
So we created an online shop in January, February of this year, and we do free local delivery. So any neighborhood that touches Northside, which actually takes us all the way out to
that's
Westwood
a lot.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do free local delivery and it's all up on the website, pretty self-explanatory. The delivery days are Tuesday to Saturday, 4 to 8. Okay. So it's not on-demand delivery like DoorDash style. It's like, hey, place your order at any time during the day, and then we'll get it to you between 4 and 8 that same day. Yeah.
What's the website?
It's the Listing Loon .square .site. You totally caught me off guard there. I'm like, wait, what is my, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. The listing
loon.square.site. I had a moment there.
That's funny. The other thing I noticed, like, and you told me about while we were there, was the like boxes.
Oh, the booze and box. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. So I had an old colleague of mine, Jessica Helm. She's a gym. She approached me and was like, I want to do an advent calendar for Christmas and a beer one. And I'm like, cool, but we're a wine shop, so we'll do a beer one and we'll do a wine one, a sparkling wine one, and we're going to do a sake one. Yeah. So I was really excited about that. It was super successful. It was a ton of work. We like made some mistakes along the way, but like totally fixed it. It was a great experience. Yeah. And we've done a couple, like we also do custom booze and boxes for like corporate clients, because we can make cocktail kits. We can do whatever we want to do. So it's still in its infancy and we're still kind of coming up with products as we go, but it's super fun because, you know, we just get to be like, let's try this and market it. And if it works, what happens. Awesome. Yeah.
I think it's an awesome idea. I love it. You just need to add like Cheez-Its now or like some snacks, you know,
So we did that for the cup. We did a cup couple's Quarantine's Day box. So instead of Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
we did meat and cheese, and we threw in like a little game for the couples to play and little question cards,
So
and had
fun.
them made 2 cocktails, and we got really great feedback on that one. That was fun too.
Can we still get that, or is it gone?
So that one is done for right now.
Boo.
I know we've definitely moved more towards a like pre-order style model, because we learned with the advent calendars, we pre-packed all of them and then tried to sell them, and we ended up with not a ton, but a couple left over, and it was just like, oh, that really affects things.
Yeah,
so,
that's not going to be good.
yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
we've moved more towards like the pre-order model right
Is
now.
it the same website if we want to pre-order?
Yes, it is. And there's there is just a little thing that says booze and box, and it's also its own category on the website,
Cool.
on the menu.
I liked too, like you had my favorite drink, which was the French 75. You had the kits.
Yes.
And so it was like, I noticed your pricing was like amazing also, but I really want to ask you, what's your favorite wine right now?
My favorite wine right now? Oh, that's a hard question. You see this is only half of this is one wall. We've got a whole nother wall on the other side. I'm obsessed with sparkling wine, and we always have a fairly big selection of sparkling wine compared to like the still wine that we carry.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what's my most favorite? I have to turn around and look.
Just like right now, we know it's
right
subject to change.
I like so many. The País Viejo, which it is amazing. It is a Chilean wine, and the grape variety is called País, and País Viejo means old vines. And there's a picture on the bottom. I'm gonna grab the bottle.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so it's really cool. So there's a picture of like an old dude climbing a ladder, right?
Yeah.
So they let the vines grow up trees at the vineyard, and then they have to put ladders up and climb up into the trees and hand harvest the grapes. It's
like they're wild vines.
Well, they're not technically, I mean, they are cultivated, right?
Yeah.
But most of our wine, by the way, we get is sustainable farming practices and or organic and natural wines. Like, we're very conscientious about that as well. So yeah, it's just so freaking delicious. It's
I want to try that.
It's really good. It's
sparkling.
This is not sparkling. This is a still red.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. It seems like it's red based on the bottle and all this stuff. Okay.
It's red. My favorite sparkling wine, I've been obsessed with this off dry wine, which means it's a little sweeter. Called it's La Cuy from Bougie Cerdon. It's a Patrick Boddix is the producer, and it's French, and it's a Gamay and Pulsard grape blend. And it's this gorgeous, like salmon pink color. And like the bubbles are really soft. They're not too crazy. And like I said, it's off dry. So it's like got this sweetness, but it's also got this salinity to it. So you're just like hugging it. And
it's a porch wine. That's what we call porch wine.
It's a patio pounder, right?
Yes.
And so one of the other great things about it, it's only 8% ABV. So it's a lower proof. So while you're pounding this, you're like, oh, you don't feel too terrible because you're not getting super smashed,
Right. Not yet.
Not yet. That's right. But yeah, that's one of my favorite sparklings, and the Argyle vintage brut sparkling.
Nice.
I'm just gonna be like, and I like this one,
and I like this one. I know it's only 10:30. I mean, it's like you need 20 minutes, and then it'll be 11, and then you can start drinking. Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Yesterday I got to try an orange wine.
Oh yes.
You tried that?
Yes. So we carry orange wine on and off. It's we were getting this one orange wine from a winery called Field Recordings out in California, and it was their it's their Skins is what it's called. It's their orange wine, and it's amazing. But because we work with such small producers, a lot of times, they only produce so much wine. So they'll run through their vintages really fast, or they'll be like, oh, hey, we're waiting on that shipment. So that's the only downside to the type of product we carry. But our inventory is expanding. So we are almost always gonna have like another recommendation of, oh, that's not out, but try this. This is similar, or you might like this. So we kind of almost are forcing you to explore and be a little adventurous with the wine. So
that's so fun.
Yeah, orange wines are great. And we just did a tasting on a bunch of Georgian wines, which are
Ooh.
almost all orange wines. Crazy, interesting
Just for
style.
clarification, we're assuming Georgia the country,
Correct.
not the
Georgia the
state.
country.
I was
That's
like, I'm
correct.
pretty sure they don't make orange wine in Georgia.
Right. Right. Definitely the country
The
of Georgia.
country. Oh my gosh, if you
Uh,
got some Georgian, is it Georgian food? Oh,
I don't know anything
the,
about the food yet.
the
So
food's
that's
amazing.
okay.
It's like we had it when I was in Turkey. It's
Oh, that's awesome.
so good.
That is
Yes.
awesome. I love it. Yeah. And I've been obsessed with Greek wines lately. I've been tasting a
Oh,
lot of different Greek wines. So we've got a couple Greek wines right now. I just brought in actually I have 2 red Greek wines. And then I usually carry a rosé also, but it's been out of stock. So yeah, we're just always rotating, and, you know, having limited shelving too forces us to kind of rotate. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I want to try this instead.
Right.
And, you know, sacrifice one bottle for another. So someday we'll have more shelving in the future, and
Do
we'll
you
be able to
have
taste it
like
all.
an app that you like where people can like keep track of the ones that they try and
I don't. I'm
okay.
old school, and I think because I do so many tastings, and I have the direct connection with wine reps.
Right.
So I just have a book of tech sheets, and I kind of just keep track via
Nice.
spreadsheets because I'm a nerd. Spreadsheet nerd. So yeah, that's kind of how I do it with my own personal note taking. But I did watch Felicia's Fangirl Friday,
Yeah.
and I was taking notes on her wine.
She had some apps
recommendations.
that
I'm
she
like,
likes.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I should check some of those out. That might make my life easier. I don't know, or more
I don't
complicated.
know.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
It just depends on what you think. Well, okay. So thank you for being on. I love the Listing Loon. I'm
Thank you
excited
so
to
much.
come back and try more wines. But tell us again, you're in Northside
Yes, we're in
and
Northside.
your website, if
Is
people
It's the listingloon.square.site.
perfect.
Mhm.
And if
Yep.
people want to like reach out to you specifically, is there a preferred way you
You could send, you could send an email, or you can also, you can just direct message us on our Instagram account or our Facebook account. Also, it's just the Listing Loon at the Listing Loon for
Oh,
both.
cool.
Yeah. And then we do have an email you could use, listingloonorders@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Oh,
And
and
if you're oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we do special orders too. We do case orders and all that.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you're looking for a wine, we can try to get it for you. So
That's awesome. I love it. And if you're watching this and you're going to go to the Listing Loon, you're like obligated to invite me so I can come.
I like this. Yes.
Yes, that's the pennant, for the cost for watching the video. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Melanie. I really
Yes.
appreciate it. And we had so much fun there.
Yes. Thank you. I had a blast, and I really appreciate you reaching out. And I think Fangirl Friday is awesome. I'm a fan of Fangirl Friday officially.
Nice.
So
Great. Well, thank you for being on. I'll talk to you soon.
all right. See ya.
See ya. Bye.